out, everyone. Welcome out, everyone. This is the Remix Morning Show on Black Power Media, and I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. And introducing your host for the day, we got Kalanji Changa, we got Burn It Down Kim Brown, and we got Jackie Lukman of the Lukman Nation. Let's go!
Yo, Remix Morning Show in the building. Ear Doctor, spin that thing one more time. Show them what you do.
Wheel up the track selector.
No doubt. Liquid means board. Gunshot means rewind. What's happening? Remix Morning Show in the building tonight. Excuse me. It's the night somewhere on the planet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Around these parts.
The cup, man. What
Yes.
is in the cup?
No snitching. Black Power Media's in the building. No Tekashi 6ix9ine and up in here. We'll do it like that. You know what I mean? Much love to the remixers in the chat room. We're gonna have a great day, great time today. It is Thursday, or what we call Remix Friday, if you're new to this particular broadcast, or whatever. I was about to say podcast. We've been forgetting where we at sometime. But anyway, what I would like to do today, because of the fact that I've been getting a lot of emails, we're getting emails and inboxes and all that, and folks are checking us out from all over the world. So we are absolutely grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all wrote, write some messages and whatnot. I know that English is definitely not your first language, because I know what the hell one cat was talking about, but you put remix in it, so I rock with you. It looked like you threw a smiley face on it, so I think he was saying we cool. But anyway, in the box, man, let us know where you are, where you checking us out from. Ladies, Burn It Down, Kim Brown, Jackie Lukman, what's the deal today?
It
Hey,
is
man.
rainy here in DC.
Pouring
Rainy.
down rain.
Yeah.
It's raining?
Yes,
Buckets.
pouring. Yeah,
Man.
it's crazy. It Yeah.
sucks to be y'all. I'm glad I ain't there.
I'm inside. I'm chilling.
Okay. You
the
you ain't going
gardens are
outside.
getting water, so I'm cool. The plants are outside vibing with the rain, and I'm just like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, both of y'all dogs at the door, like,
You know what I'm saying? Looking scared. Shout out to Brusky, my man, from Lukman Nation. His name's supposed to be what?
Brewski.
Brucey
but-
Lukman, you better get it right, man.
Nah, he from the hood. We call him Brusky. I needed Brusky the other day. I was on this panel, and Amy Goodman, little punk ass dog, kept barking at me and whatnot. Like, what that get Brusky up here? Y'all in DC.
He would have ate him.
Bro, he'd have been a
He
snack.
would have ate him. Yeah. Brewski has a rap sheet in the neighborhood for
Oh,
brown
man.
dogs that
Yeah, I got one of them too. That's Bagheera. I'm like,
Bagheera?
I asked Bagheera on a weekly basis. I said, "How's it feel to be a living legend out here in these DMV streets?"
Hey, listen, it's Big Era. So we got Brusky and Big Era. We ain't, we changed the names right.
Bagheera.
Nah, Big Era. That's what we call him. Nah. That's how we do around
She's
here.
the Black Panther from the Jungle Book.
Oh, okay. We might, Ear Doctor. If Ear Doctor say the name properly, then we'll go with it. Ear Doctor, how we say that name? So a Big Era it is. Anyway, yes.
How are things in the ATL, sir?
Man, it's still the home of the thief and the slave. Ain't nothing changed. You know what I'm saying? Owned by a lot of black faces in high places. The slaves run a plantation. It's that type of thing. We just build a revolution around these parts because we know what it is and we know where it's at. So otherwise the weather, it's it's definitely moving into fall, but not northeast fall, but definitely.
Yeah, does Atlanta actually have a fall? I mean,
the
South really?
The ill thing about it right now, it does, because there's a hole in the ozone, and these crackers been fucking up the environment. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all finally get to figure out when to wear a sweater.
Man, listen, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Freaknik down here sometimes, so it'll be like 20 degrees, and you'll still go in the grocery store and somebody have some thongs on, and that'd be part of their, it's freedom
I
of.
thought that was Miami behavior. I know they went like that hard in Atlanta.
Hey man, what Kara said? Cocaine business runs America. Anyway, we good. Yeah, but shout out to all my ATLians out there. You know what I mean? Shout out to the remixes in the building. Shout out to the Renegades. We've been getting a few people asking us when Renegade Coach are coming back. It's going to be back soon. Hold your horses. You know what I mean? But for now, we got the Remix Morning Show. So,
what's happening?
In the news, man, in DC. I mean, what's going on locally, man? I know that y'all in Chocolate City.
There's a lot going on locally. Spate of gun violence is the story around here, in addition to some other issues too. But kids is taking L's in the DMV bad when it comes to gun violence. And they just had this young woman, 41-year-old. I think she was a special police officer, but she was killed just the other night. And same day there was a mass shooting in DC, 5 people shot. And the police chief got on TV talking about, I understand that people will be having tough times, but ain't no excuse for all this shooting, and no excuse for this and no excuse for that. And it's like, well, sir, the mayor authorized your police department for unlimited overtime this summer to so-called combat this violence. And from where I sit, y'all have not been able to combat a damn thing. So just the continued fallacy of more policing, more money towards policing will equal in violent crime going down, and that's not what we've been seeing here.
Meanwhile, they still gun down citizens in the street, the police.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And not only do they still gun down citizens, but they being sued, they being the MPD, is being sued by 10 black cops, 10 black women who work inside the force at some level for sexual harassment and racial discrimination. You think?
In America?
So yeah, there's this. It was just announced, I think, on the 22nd, yesterday. 10 black women filed a class action lawsuit against MPD for racial discrimination and sexual harassment within the force, and a systemic pattern of bullying and retaliation against those who express concerns about mistreatment. So, what you just said, Kim, about the DC City Council allocating all this money, like $500 million. The MPD, the Metropolitan Police Force's budget is $500 million.
Billion.
Wait. Say that. That's the police
that's
department.
Correct. Is that correct, Kim? Am I right with that?
I think you are right, Jackie.
Yeah. I keep believing that I'm wrong, but I'm I'm right, because I can't believe. Yeah. It's like It's a little over $500 million.
Ridiculous.
Just for local policing.
DC Police Department's budget.
And DC is a city of what? 700,000, 650,000, somewhere in there?
Maybe. Yeah,
right.
Something like that.
Listen.
The DC City Council hasn't created jobs. They haven't provided actual affordable housing. The bullshit they call affordable housing is determined by the developers, and they set the affordable housing rates, which is never affordable for people whose incomes are anywhere south of $20,000 a year over here. And I remember I said south of $20,000 a year. They don't provide child care for working people.
And aren't they going forward with evictions in DC now, Jackie?
Evictions have ramped up. So we know that not only does the police not keep us safe, that's obvious, but the DC City Council, under this black woman mayor, they don't keep us safe. And now you've got police in the force who are like, oh my God, nobody's keeping us safe. You fucking think? You think?
Bullshit. Man, listen, if you give me $500 million, I have a program that'll take all the crime off the streets of DC. And on top of that, we'll relieve the homeless population in 24 hours. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know what the fuck they doing with that $500 million.
I,
You know what I'm saying?
bro, I live here and I don't know. I'm just,
I
I
mean, the
just
streets must be paved in gold in
Not
DC.
exactly. Not exactly.
there's a
But
cop who lives on our street and I'm like, why? What do you do? Why do you exist? What is it you I mean, she gives our yard the side eye every time she drives by cuz we got a big ass red, black and green flag with the garden in the front yard.
I got to send you a FTP flag that says "fuck the police."
ooh,
Thank
What up?
you.
I
Please
want
Yeah.
do.
one.
Cuz I mean, so it's just like the people of this city who are hurting the most, the especially the youth who need jobs, who need, education and quality, health care. We need health care, mental health care, and substance abuse services in our communities, and we too ashamed to admit it, but we dying, and we've got to stop being
Mm.
ashamed of that. And these people who have hold the purse strings, they give all the money to the cops, and then I'm supposed to feel bad that a couple of some women in the police department, they getting their feelings hurt by a bunch of pigs. Well, we told you that's how they were.
We
I
rolling
mean,
Jackie,
in.
I hope they win their lawsuit and everything, but I'm
hey,
okay. All right.
Jackie,
listen,
sometimes I feel like a ventriloquist because some of the things I want to say I can't say, but you'll go ahead and catch it. I'll be like,
of course. Of course.
cool.
No, when I saw them women, I saw that this was a story that broke yesterday on the local news, and I saw one of the officers being interviewed, and she was like, the retaliation is just unbearable. It's just so much. And it's like, honey, like
Hmm.
when people on the street complain about mistreatment by the police, to the police, maybe the mistreatment happens to them too, and it's retaliation, and it's super fucked up. So why is it that you think that as a black woman especially you're going to get some sort of different treatment from the police by the police? Make it make
Hmm.
sense.
But you know what though? On top of that, Kim, the wild shit about it, me being an organizer and in these streets for 30 plus years, I got to tell y'all, a lot of times, I mean, and folks, well, it was a black woman cop that got hurt or got whatever. I don't really give a fuck because of the fact that oftentimes they are the aggressors towards us in these streets. I'm talking about there's been many times I had a black woman cop grab me by my collar, no crime committed because of the fact that she asked me about my ID. She asked me about my driver's license. Do you have your license? I'm walking. So I figured you must be high. So I ain't got time to touch your crazy ass. So you asked me about my driver's license. And I'm clearly walking down Auburn Avenue. I'm like, this lady high. So I just kept on walking. She grabs me, and I ain't gonna tell you the rest of the story, but long story short, the police is the police.
For sure.
Man, woman, whatever. You got
All
that
day.
badge on. Man, you're a representative of the state. So whatever happens, all is fair in love and war. When you over in the battlefield and a child has a gun, you're like, oh, you ain't gonna be looking at him like, oh, that's a cute child soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they're agents of oppression, and that's just what it is. Agents of
Hmm.
oppression, and it's sad, but it's true. It's reality.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and I think this, I know it's not going to because people still believe this ridiculousness that, you have to change the system from the inside. If you want to improve, the police, you have to change the system I bet you that's what some of them
Mandatory.
thought. I'm going to
right,
get in there and I'm going to change the system from the inside. And the system on the inside said, fuck you. That word that
exactly,
I'm not going to repeat. Because they called them that all day.
exactly,
All
exactly.
that and a couple of mammies and a couple of other things. And,
Mm.
And
you
they see us
know,
coming a mile away. They know you thinking that you're gonna come your black ass in there with your nice locks and you know what I'm saying, and your cultural, they now checked out your social media and all that, and you think, well,
cops
I'm
with
I'm gonna
locks.
be the
That's
spook that
just
sit by the door. Cats
that's
always talking about they
Tennessee
spook
right
that sit
there.
by the door, but in reality they be niggas sitting by the door spook. Anyway, it's time to bring the ear doctor on board because before we lose our minds and lose our job here at the remix.
That was a good one right there. hey, hey, yo, these the same cops, the $5 million cops that couldn't stop the insurrection.
That's them.
That's
Oh,
that's
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 part of
them.
them.
That's the same ones, the
Okay,
Capitol Police
wow.
and the MPD. Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
count on y'all.
I'm gonna show some love today to one of our brilliant brothers that goes by the name of Melvin Van Peebles.
Yes, sir.
This made his transition, so let's go there.
Go.
Remix.
Oh, I don't know what that was. But we up in here. Yo, big up everybody. This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. And please make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend every Tuesday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And check out all the shows we got here on Black Power Media. Now, let's give it up to my brother, no other than Melvin Van Peebles. Now, the dope thing about this brother right here is, in case you don't know who I'm talking about, he's American actor, filmmaker, playwright, novelist, and composer. He's known for his film Sweetback's Badass Song, and he's also the father of Mario Van Peebles, straight out of Chicago. He started off doing shorts, 11-minute movies, went all the way to doing music, movies, poetry. I mean, this man was a definite Renaissance man. You might have seen him in movies like Posse, Grease Lightning. He also did Panther. I mean, he's done a bunch. So we got to give it up to this brother and thank him for all he's done for our culture. So that's what it is. And with that, I'm going to play a little bit of something from one of his songs. So let's get it.
Excuse me, buddy, but excuse me, lady, but you fooling, ain't you? Where can I be? This ain't America, is it? Oh Lord, where can I be? This ain't America, is it? No, this ain't America. You can't fool me.
Big up Melvin Van Peebles. Right here, Black Power Media, Remix Morning Show. Let's take it back to the crew. You know how we do. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melvin Van Peebles, 89 years old, man.
Right.
I thought Melvin Van Peebles was 89 10 years ago.
He was like the quintessential old dude, wasn't he?
Yo, and he's still walking around with his chest out and everything with a cigar like it's the 70s.
That's what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all trying to play the man? You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Rise in power, the Godfather
For sure.
of black cinema. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to talk more about Melvin Van Peebles when we come back to the news and whatnot, because of the fact that he is a unsung hero. You know what I mean? When you talk about folks like Spike Lee and a lot of these other directors and all that, he was the forerunner. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the cats to really put that work in. But definitely good stuff. Ed Doctor, Remix Morning Show in the building. We're going to go to this news and views. And we're going to be right back at you. You like that, huh? Styling. Remix Morning Show in the building. I had to find myself, whatever. I got too many tabs open and whatnot. Yes. So it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A lot of things going on here in this great planet. As the Air Doctor just mentioned, Mario Van Peebles, a legend that we've gotten experience, and not only this particular generation, our generation and the generation before us, you know what I'm saying? He's been around for a while, starting with films like Watermelon Man and Sweetback and so many other, greats or whatever. So we're definitely glad to have him on board. What I would like to do, if possible, I know there's a message from his son Mario, which a lot of people know, and a lot of people have been confusing with his father. So I want to check out, see what he had to say on the passing of his father, if you all don't mind. Y'all cool with that? I'm gonna really flip it and see if I can actually work this share button today. So
Oh,
if I
let's see.
don't even trip. Okay, 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 okay. Let me see here. We got this.
Blacks don't mess around. We different from 90.
A lot of you have been hitting me up asking me how Melvin Man Peoples died. Well, as the so-called godfather of the modern black scene, he's not just my dad, he's your dad too. So if it's okay with you, I'll share a little bit with you. My brother and my sister and I realized that
Okay, did it pause here?
Yeah,
I don't think, was it playing on
Dad was
yeah, it
getting
was.
old.
the
There we go.
We got on a plane, we flew to New York, got our butts here. I felt very strongly that Dad would not want to pass to the hospital, and I was lucky enough to get him home. And when he came through the door, he had such a look of relief and joy on his face that I just let that wash over me. And I wanted to stay in the same room with him. And he has a bed, a little bed, and there's a cot in there, and I slept on the cot beside him. And around 2:30 a.m., for some reason I woke up, I felt something, and I went over to Dad, and I didn't turn the light on. I put my hand on his chest, and I said, "Daddy, I love you." And he had stopped breathing. And as I looked closer, the look on his face did not look like a man who was afraid of death. It looked like a man who had gone his way in his time. And I mean, what a class way out. I thought, man, I'd be so lucky to go out with my family close by, at home, peacefully. Um, Sometimes we think of death as a tragedy. People are calling it saying, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And we think of birth as a miracle, but maybe birth and death are just different sides of the same mortality coin. None of us are going to live forever, ever, and none of us gets out of here alive. So how are we going to go out? Well, he demystified it a little bit for me. Um, Growing up with him, I saw a life well lived, fully lived. And I think the real tragedy might be not doing what you came here to do in this lifetime. And Melvin Man Peebles, man, your dad, he came, and he did his thing.
Wow, that was beautiful.
very
That was
powerful
beautiful.
Yes,
Mario Van Peebles.
yes, yes, yes. Definitely, a powerful piece for him to get on social media and address folks, at such an early stage. We definitely salute that. I support everything he just said or whatever. I wouldn't call him my daddy, but what I'm saying, he's definitely the godfather of black cinema. So we say rise in power, Melvin Van Peebles, and for folks, because I know it's a lot of new and younger folks or whatever. First film that I saw that he did was a comedy called Watermelon Man, which is
Yeah.
about a white racist '60s insurance salesman who woke up black,
Mhm.
and then he did a another joint where he was I think it was Sweetback, where he had the brother that was being chased by the white police and all that type stuff. And at the time, that was the highest grossing film in history. I believe that was the early '70s. I can't remember the year, or whatever, but definitely we support. And he was also vocal. I want to say Melvin Van Peebles was definitely vocal about injustice and racism and so on and so forth, along the lines of Harry Belafonte and and others. So definitely rising power to a cultural icon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. I mean, I think one of my favorite, other than Watermelon Man, one of my favorite Mario Van Peebles movies was the one that he starred in and directed with his son, and that was Posse. And that
Hmm.
that that joint was so it was like, for a country girl seeing a bunch of black dudes on horses, being, oh my, that was it for me. That was
Oh
just
man, one of my favorite lines from that movie, Jackie. Remember, it was Billy Zane was the racist white guy in the movie,
yep,
and I can't
yep.
remember who his his little do boy was, but he was from the Motisa tribe. Motisa,
Motisa.
he's from,
Yeah,
he's from the
yeah.
Motisa tribe. Motisa. That was a great movie because Sally Richardson was in that movie.
Mhm.
Mario and Melvin Van Peebles was in that movie. Who else was in Posse? It was some other interesting, like Tiny Lester was in that
Yeah.
movie. Debo was
Big
in the
Daddy
movie.
Kane,
Big Daddy Kane was
BDK,
in
yes,
that
Big
joint.
Daddy Kane was in that movie. He sure
Mhm.
was.
Kumo D, before you get bum rushed in the Wild Wild West. Anyway,
I remember
Yeah.
Melvin Van Peebles because I'm gonna confess I'm not I'm aware that Melvin Van Peebles is a a legendary black director, black cinema in the 70s, etc. But I remember him from the the bit part he had in Boomerang when
Oh.
is that a nipple? It's a nipple because I'm drooling. Sorry.
well, one thing about Kim Brown and Jackie Lukeman, they were always fine. That one line.
Always.
Speaking of films, definitely on Saturday nights, it's been brought to our attention that we will have BPM at the movies every Saturday, 8
Ooh.
p.m. It will
Mhm.
cost you nothing but whatever your internet and cable provider charge you to see what you see on YouTube. So definitely 8 p.m. Eastern, check out BPM Film Classics where you can actually watch the films with us and afterwards we'll have a discussion on it. This week's the first joint that we're going to set off is Goodbye Uncle Tom. So
I need some.
yeah,
I
and
need the full alcohol wine for that one because
boy, look here.
that
I will
movie.
suggest, yes, make sure that you have someone responsible with you to lock the doors and make sure you don't go out and wild out
Oh
after
wow,
watching
it's
this
like
film, man.
that.
No, it's like, look, me and Abdus watched that movie after just like hunting for something to watch on a Saturday night and just happened upon it on one of the streaming services. And we're like, yeah, what the heck? Man, by the end of that movie, the both of us were sitting there like, what the fuck did we just the fuck?
Yeah,
And this is a classic. This is in the
It
70s, right? This is not a
it is it's you'll
yeah,
see.
oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah. It's literally like it's the closest thing to a quote unquote depiction of a slave movie. It's almost like it reminds me of like the Battle of Algiers, almost like a docu film. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? On that type of strength. It's like, man, where did they get these actors from? And it makes you question, like, are these motherfuckers acting?
Right, right. And it's and some of them, some of the scenes are so, like, some of the characters in the scenes are so ridiculous, but
Yeah,
the context of the scene is so horrific that it's like I want to laugh at his really horrible overacting, but this is
right.
some fucked up. Yeah, it's an incredibly interesting movie, but it's intense and it's hard to explain. But I think we're gonna have a good time with it. I think we're gonna like
Tony H in the chat says it's starring Jim Claiborne. Is that correct?
it. No, but there is an Uncle Pappy Jim character in it.
Yeah, definitely that. Definitely that. Hey, let's what else we got in the news, man? Definitely, like I said, man, tune in on Tuesday, excuse me, Tuesday.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah. Tune in Saturday, 8 p.m. and check out what's popping on that. Y'all homegirl, Kamala
Who? Why
said
you give
she's
her to?
I mean, I'm trying to, I mean,
Wee
she's in DC.
wee, wee wee,
We my
wee
ass.
wee.
She in the neighborhood. um, says she's raising grave concerns over the treatment of Haitian migrants in call with the Department of Homeland Security chief. Um, what's y'all take on that, man? I'm saying, like, it was just a couple months ago we reported that she was saying, send them back, and if you come to the border, you will be turned around. And now all of a sudden she's saying, she's concerned those pictures of these the border patrol with the on horseback. It's horrific, and no human being should be treated like that. And especially with what's going on in Haiti right now, with the earthquake and the tragedies and the assassination of the president, all the bullshit that she was talking before she was actually elected. Because remember, before she was elected, she was on some old, they're humans and we have to treat, the Western Hemisphere and all this blase blah. So I wanted to know, since you all out there chilling in DC, down the street from the white man house, I wanted to know, what's your take on Sister Kamala?
Well, tell her, Jackie, there's Capitol Hill and then there's Southeast.
There's
Right?
there's Capitol Hill, and then there's the rest of
There's the
DC.
rest of DC.
And she better stay over there where she is.
You already know.
She
You
It
already
sound like
know.
you got a jar of Vaseline to put on your face. If y'all-
Come on now. Kamala Harris, she's not.
Oh my God.
She's all right, but she's not real.
That this whole she's concerned about Haiti. Bullshit. She wasn't concerned about those 14, 15,000 people sitting under that bridge all this time, because people keep acting as if they just got there yesterday, right? And the Border Patrol agents wilded out yesterday. And no, they've been there for quite some time, along with other people who have been forced to flee from their countries because of the U.S. imperialism that Kamala and her boss, Biden, are continuing in their countries. This woman doesn't care about Haiti. This woman doesn't care about the Haitians. She don't care about, I mean, she got on television and told people, do not come.
right.
Do not come. Like,
Had a
we're gonna-
gangster lean with it too. She was like,
yeah.
basically, like, look here, man. If you come, it's gonna be a problem.
We gonna send your ass back. That's what she might
Send
as
you
well have
all the
said.
way back. We're gonna have some crackers on horseback with some whips to whip your ass back. Now all of a sudden it's like it's such a travesty and all that. I mean, it's horrible that she can even get on there and I mean, you talk about somebody getting kicked out of the black community. You talking about a trade card, motherfucker, like this. I mean, like shit. I mean, it gets no better than this, man.
And then I hear that I think the Biden administration is talking about taking control of I don't even know what this means, but the border patrol. They're already under the control of the.
Oh.
It's an agency within the administration. I think within Department of Homeland Security. They already these people are, as my comrade and friend Ricky Ryan says all the time, these people playing in our faces. These
Big time.
mofos are playing in our faces. They just saying all kinds of shit out their mouths, and people are just eating it up because it ain't Trump.
And
And-
Mayorkas, who is the Homeland Security Secretary, I think, like his big solution to the issue and crisis happening at the border is that we're going to send more agents down here. Nigga, why is that the fucking solution to every goddamn problem with Democrats? Oh, we're just going to send more police down there. Oh, sure, that's going to fix it right on.
That
up
always
there.
works.
Yeah, we ain't gonna send, and they not gonna have whips this time. They're gonna have ropes.
Oh,
We're
But
gonna
it-
lasso
it's
and
like-
lynch.
The reasons that the Biden administration are deporting the Haitians and the other folks down there at the southern border are the same reasons given by the Trump administration. They're still using that same thing. What is it? Is it Title 42, Jackie? Or
Title
something like
42.
Title 42 about the COVID pandemic. Meanwhile, we live in a nation that wastes millions of vaccinations. We could easily ship 12,000 vaccines down to the border and vaccinate all those people. So that's that bullshit excuse out the window that the COVID pandemic is the reason that these people are being deported back to worse conditions than they are already experiencing right there in Del Rio. But what is the deal with now 2 consecutive administrations just ignoring the whole issue of asylum? Like, it is every person in this world's legal right to come to America to claim asylum, to legally claim asylum. You are allowed to stay here while your asylum claim is being processed. And the Biden administration is like, we don't even know what asylum is, even though they claim that some of the Haitian migrants down there in Del Rio have been granted asylum or have been allowed to apply for asylum. But why did it take a national outrage for that to be the case? Why are they playing stupid when it comes to asylum seekers, just like the Trump
Because
administration. So again, I don't,
yeah,
I'm waiting for Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and the squad and the rest of them to go out there and act like their hair's on fire behind these people being denied asylum or proper opportunities to apply for asylum, just like they did under Donald Trump.
Oh, we
yeah,
don't.
they
I don't
asses
think
need
we
to be in
want
asylum.
AOC at the border again, fake crying over the Haitians this time.
With a new
Right.
dress.
In her ill-fitting David's bridal. Let me stop because I
Oh,
kind of like
You
David's
said
bridal.
David Bridle. That's messed
I
up,
just,
man.
but
You ain't gonna give her no. Never mind, man.
I'm
Um,
sorry, I'm being catty.
it's okay. Welcome to America. Yeah, I mean, well, the DHS also announced that they're seeking contractors to run a migrant detention facility down in Guantanamo. They said that they're looking for Haitian Creole and Spanish speaking contractors. Um, because they're looking at shipping some to this nice facility down in this place called Gitmo. So,
how come
you
they
You
know,
know
don't never
what?
put border patrol up at the Canadian border? You know how many Russians is just walking from Canada?
Russians, Canadians, what else? Aldians, all the
anything white, all
Europeans,
things white,
all the
Eastern Europeans,
Europeans.
they just
don't
walking
matter.
from Niagara Falls.
They ain't
Like,
asking if
wait
they
a
got a
Exactly.
passport. They just look at them. They do the white people smile when they see them.
They over there, they're like, let us in, eh?
That's all it is.
oh, look at they're camping, they're hiking.
Right. This Gitmo thing, that not of course we knew that Obama was lying when he said that his first priority was going to be to close down Gitmo. He wasn't going to close down no Gitmo. And
Mm-mm.
every
Yeah,
president since him that said it, they lied. We knew they lied because the empire can't not have a torture camp. They
Hmm.
can't because empires got to torture people. That's what they got to do.
right.
But the fact that, like you mentioned earlier, Kim, Title 42, um, the fact that that is being used as an excuse to immediately deport these folks because they could be bringing COVID into this country. Well, doesn't that sound exactly like what this country did to Haitians before? Back in the 90s, I think it was. I'm
Hmm.
probably getting, I think it was the 90s.
I think you're right.
And put the first internees, the first detainees at Guantanamo were Haitians who were detained there because they may have AIDS. So
Right.
this shit is just it is the same stuff over and over again. The reason we're not going to see anything different from the Biden Harris administration that we saw from the Trump Pence administration, that we saw from the Obama Biden administration, that we saw from the Bush, who the hell was his vice president administration? I
Quayle?
can't Quayle, that's right. Because it's all white supremacy. It is
That's right.
all US imperialism. And it's an ideology that has many faces. Anybody can put on that mask and take that check. But it's
Listen,
even
man.
easier to pass off when the people who put on the mask look like us and can easily talk to us and try to convince us, well, when we do these racist, nationalist, evil, militaristic things to people who look like us, it's different. It's not the same as the other guys. That's all this is. This is a continuation of the
Right.
same white supremacist imperialist US policy. Gitmo
That-
ain't gonna never close. That it is never going to close as long as the US empire stands.
I mean, when Obama said that, I was looking at him and he started to look like my drunk uncle when he told me he wasn't drinking no more. And he actually had a bottle in his hand. I ain't drinking no more. This stuff ain't good for you.
I'm
You
just
know what I'm
drinking
saying? As
beer.
he twists the cap off. He probably drunk right now. But I'm just saying, man. Shout out to my drunk Uncle Ted. But
Uncle
you got
Ted
hate.
drink beer. He drink beer now. Come
Thank
on,
you.
G. He got off the liquor, so he
Well,
did cut back drinking. Come on
you
now.
you probably know him. He in DC. But
I
anyway, listen.
mean,
I
you
know
got
a
to
lot
give
of Uncle
people
Ted.
credit for progress, bruh.
That's why I shouted him out. That's why I shouted him out. But anyway, moving right along. Sorry, Ted. Um, what else we got in the news, man? Don't mind me. It's early in the morning, and definitely we We pray for the continued strength of Haiti. We have a we have an attorney coming on talking about ICE and what's going on because of the fact that, as I mentioned yesterday, a lot of folks don't realize that when you talk about the whole deportation situation, um, Haitians are the most that are outnumber and outweigh, the number of deportees right now. Psychologically, in our heads, the Trump administration had us thinking that, they're just sending Mexicans back across the border, um, which is foul as well because of the fact that, you're talking about the natives of this North American continent
Mm-hmm.
and you're pushing them back off their land. You're pushing indigenous people that existed here before your before your white ass came along. You know what I mean? So I say that we should get together and deport some of these Europeans that came over here and fucked up this country. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So make America great again before it was America, motherfucker. How about that?
Make
But
Turtle
anyway,
Island great again.
yes, Turtle
I
Island.
mean, listen, don't hesitate to let racist Europeans know that they can go back to their homeland
Mm.
anytime after
Hey,
now. Like,
I love telling these Georgian Southern crackers, go back where you came from. They be looking like, well, I never. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
well, see, that's the crazy thing about the whole immigration thing. And Jackie, I know you can speak to this because I used to work kind of where you work, but like, ask the Russians how often they get shook down by ICE when it comes to deportations and all that shit. The answer is never.
Uh,
Never. Very seldom. Russians might, or other people, non-American white folks may have problems coming and going, but once they are here, they are afforded all the privileges of white people and white skin.
That I
yes.
mean, look, I work for Sputnik,
Hmm.
so they're not going after the editor in chief because his visa might be expiring. They mad because they claim he's manufacturing disinformation, which is bullshit. I mean, shit, they got me on this joint,
Listen,
so
let me explain
Shout out to
something. When I
Sputnik.
was working for Russian media, what I learned was that there is really very little difference between state-run media and corporate-run media. Like, for people who have problems, that's the Russian state government, and so you getting the CNN Coca-Cola spin of things. Like, I don't see.
PBS is state-run government.
Thank you, girl. I don't.
NPR is state-run
Thank
government.
you.
You d-
I do not see the problem. It's basically what I'm saying.
Damn
They'd be like,
people.
"Oh, Russian misinformation." Bitch, do you watch MSNBC? If you talking about misinformation, what?
Please. But you're right about the immigrant thing because here and where a lot of rich folks are and they have their nannies and au pairs and I didn't know what an au pair was for a long time.
I,
And
I
then
didn't
when
know
I
either for a while.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was like,
yeah,
what? Oh,
yes.
okay. People have that much money to okay. But
They do.
I mean and here in New York and the cities where there's a large concentration of really wealthy people, their help, their hired help, because that's what they are. They're European hired help. They don't get knocks on their door from ICE in the middle of the damn night. They don't get followed by immigration, by going to the store for their employers or taking their employers' kids to their private schools. But all the working class and poor, Mexican and Chicano and Salvadoran and Honduran, those folks and African folks, they're the ones who get targeted by ICE.
Ain't that funny though? How you mentioned au pairs and how our grandmothers and great grandmothers, they was mammies.
Who,
You know what I'm saying?
mm,
They even get a fancier name. They are au pairs.
au pair.
Au pair. Okay, au pair. But anyway, to see
and,
what
and
happens when they put me on here
all
with these
kinds of
people.
but see
I'm
but
about
see
we about to
that's
get banned.
yep,
Yeah.
and that's okay. I've been banned because of worse people, I guess. I
Listen,
guess.
listen.
Hmm.
but see that's
I,
why I
I don't
don't
know if
buy
it's a
into
compliment.
this, like you say all the time, Kalanji, dividing the slave thing with this immigration discussion with African folks talking about, oh
Yeah.
well, that they treat Mexicans better than we do. The
Oh
fuck
my
they
god.
do. They killed Mexican immigrants. That I mean, they have literally killed them.
Right.
And I just we have to have a serious working class, a serious class solidarity among oppressed people. And we
No
have to
doubt.
understand that whatever biases other oppressed people have, that's been indoctrinated in them by the same system that indoctrinates us, that
Hmm.
oppresses us. So
No
we got to
doubt.
get this right, because, man, if we don't, this going to kill us all.
Hey,
Hey,
that's how a few of our brothers were able to be, recruited, I guess, to the Trump side. That was one of the bragging points, I guess, of Donald Trump's campaign in 2020, that he improved his African American vote by a handful of points, and most of those points came from African American men because, I, for reasons I don't understand, but on occasion, some of our brothers can be dissuaded into thinking, this brown versus black, conflict, especially in the workplace, in the labor market. Oh, the Latinos will do stuff for low wages, and that's cutting us out of jobs. And it's like, well, but that's not their fault, though. That's not a
Right.
reason for you to be
yeah,
mad at them. The reason you need to be mad at the boss man who is dividing the both of y'all. So anyway, but
yeah.
yeah.
Whoever, I know folks that talk like that. I don't consider them my brothers because of the fact that I have comrades down in Chiapas. Shout out to all the freedom fighters down in Chiapas, the Zapatistas, so on and so forth,
Hmm.
who actually put in work. South Commandant Marcos and folks like that who put in work back in the day. Um, we don't we have to be clear about revolution across the board. We got to be clear about revolution across the world, and we got to know who our comrades are, who our allies are, so on and so forth. It's beautiful. As Imam Jamil said, H. Rap Brown, to be black is necessary, but it ain't sufficient. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? We live in Atlanta where we say the slaves run the plantation. So, I have quote unquote black pride as far as me being an African, but my culture and my politics, you know what I mean? A lot of times folks have the culture, but they don't have the politics. And when you lack the politics, when you lack political education, it will have you thinking that all things black are good and anything outside of black is a problem. When in fact it's you couldn't have counterinsurgency without Negro sellouts. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Without these
Mhm.
folks who are sitting by making you think that they're on the side of what's right because of the fact that they have on a booba or they walk around with a staff and some big ass beads around their neck and some, all that type of stuff. It goes beyond that. So definitely, salute to those who are concerned with winning and and the natives of this land, man. Period. Because of the fact that we often talk about reparations. If we're going to talk about reparations, then we should also talk about, returning the land back to the people themselves, the original occupiers of said land. You know what I mean? And I know some folks will argue, well, we was here. Look, the whole planet is ours. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? We don't acknowledge any invisible borders or boundaries. So we
That's
got to
right.
always be clear about this whole thing because of the fact that, again, we will get caught up into believing whatever our oppressor says, and we'll start arguing based on their points, opposed to what it is we're supposed to be dealing with.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the Remix Morning Show. Y'all know what we do around these parts. Y'all got
Right.
any stories y'all want to add on before we go to the ear doctor?
Uh, they. I'm sorry, Kim. Go ahead.
Oh no, go. It's gonna take Auntie about 5 minutes to figure out how to share her screen. So y'all can go on.
Okay.
So I just wanted to piggyback on real quick to what you said about Trump increasing his support among black men. A part of that story that is rarely talked about is the increase in support among black women up for Trump in the last election too, for the same reasons, for the
Hmm.
same dumbass reasons that the Mexicans are stealing the black folks' jobs, and all that is black folks being capitalist and classist, and honestly buying into this nativist thing. And I'm just going to say it. I think ADOS has done some real damage among some of our folks and made some of our folks really quite stupid in regard to this issue. Um,
Chat about to be on fire in a minute.
Blah
Go
I
ahead.
blah
know,
blah
I know,
blah.
but look, I drank almost all my coffee. I'm ready. So, but this story just dropped just now, and I hope you can see the screen here. Yeah, the U.S. envoy to Haiti resigned. And this is being reported by the Center for Economic and Policy Research, um, citing political intervention and inhumane deportation policy. I haven't even read this whole story. I just saw it, it just dropped. But Dan Foote
Woo.
submitted his resignation, citing a deeply flawed U.S. policy toward the nation that includes continued political intervention and the administration's recent decision to ramp up deportations. He said, I will not be associated with the United States' humane, counterproductive decision to deport thousands of Haitian refugees. He sent his resignation letter, to Secretary of State Anthony Blinken on September 22nd. I'm going to read
That was
this a little bit.
yesterday.
That was yesterday. I told you, just dropped. I think this is really important because it is rare that U.S. administration officials ever call out this right here: political intervention of the United States in the countries the officials represents. That's rare. So I am kind of like, I'm a little bit scared for this dude.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, good for you. You were. I'm glad that he made the statement that he did. That he pointed out the continued U.S. political intervention, which is a nice euphemism for regime change
Right.
in Haiti, which is what the U.S. has done.
So, Jackie, it's
Yeah.
interesting because this UN envoy to Haiti announced this yesterday, and on the 21st, and yesterday also, the United Nations has warned that the mass deportations of Haitians by President Biden could violate international law. Now, I mean, that's all well and good for the UN to say that. We know that the UN is pretty toothless when it comes to enforcing any sort of, human rights violations against the United States. But for the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, his name is Filippo Grandi, issued a statement from the UNHCR specifically about the inhumane treatment of Haitian deportees by the United States. So I wonder if that was coordinated in any way, you know what I mean? Or between the UN envoy to Haiti and the UNHCR to make these announcements sort of back to back. But that is very interesting timing.
Yeah, that's a good
You
point.
know,
I hadn't thought of that.
I like to know, you know what I'm saying, where all these folks that was yelling Black Lives Matter, you know what I'm saying? All these folks who were talking about that have the signs in the damn yard. Look, and I'm talking to the quote unquote allies right now. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of y'all asses out in the street. You know what I'm saying? When a brother or sister was shot down in the street, we need that same action for what's going on, because Haitians are black as well, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? If Black Lives Matter, what the fuck is going on under that bridge? What's going on over in Del Rio? You know what I mean? So we need that same energy. You know what I mean? So let's not, again, we can't pick and choose and divide which fight we're going to take. This is a fight against imperialism. This is a fight against capitalism. And no matter which way it go, we have to go and counter that shit. And if we don't, then we aiding and abetting. That's the reality of this thing. So you can't say Black Lives Matter, but Haitian lives don't matter. You can't say
Jackie,
Black Lives Matter, but the Congo don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So
Jackie, weren't you out in the streets shortly after Biden was inaugurated? There was a big pro Haitian rally held in DC. I think it was the Haitian Info Blog, maybe a couple of the Haitian. I can't remember the names of the organizations. Maybe you weren't there, but I know Chuck Modiano was definitely out there covering that. So people have been in the streets for Haiti. But it doesn't get the same amount of coverage, right? The coverage doesn't have the same legs as it does when it comes to a Black American being killed by police. Like I mean, I think the folks have out there, I think they've been out there, but we just may not hear about it at the same sort of levels that we had heard about other movements and actions outside.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. And the wild thing is that people in this country who are, clearly just very xenophobic in their, Black American lives, but not Black lives anywhere else in the world. And they always use the excuse that, well, those people don't stand up for us. But you got Africans all over this planet in all other countries rising up against their U.S. backed puppet governments and neoliberalism and austerity politics and the fascist police states in their countries, and what are they using as a part of their organizing and protest chants? The stuff that we're saying over here. They are saying, and they're waiting for us to be like, when are y'all going to unite, organize with us? Because we're waiting for y'all. So
Hey,
this idea that our brothers and sisters around the world don't care about us and don't have any insight into our struggles and don't want to have anything to do with us, they are doing the same thing we're doing in the what do I want to call it? The struggle we're having to decolonize our minds. They're
sure.
doing the same thing. So we yeah, that's this.
Hey,
I real quick, 2016. I remember going to the protest outside of the what do you call it, the primary of the Democratic National Convention. That's what it was. And there was a huge contingent of Haitians protesting against Hillary Clinton. Huge. We were out there, we talked to those people in Philadelphia. It was like 100 degrees that day. We were out there, talked directly to those people. That part of the protest did not get broadcast on the news.
hey,
So we have to do better
we got
at
to go to this.
connecting to our folks. Let me
We
shut
got
up.
we got to go to this quick break. We can finish this convo when we get back. Definitely important. We're gonna take to go to the ear doctor to pay these bills, because if not, ear doctor, he got the sun behind us. He will burn it down. So
Yeah. So I was gonna show y'all, give respect to another artist that I actually got to sit down and have an interview with. But I wanted to talk about the word lucky. Do y'all believe in luck?
No.
No.
I mean, for me, it always felt like preparation was better than luck. Being ready for an opportunity and for a moment. So I'm gonna go to this interview. I got to talk to super producer Rick Rock and show you how, if you're prepared for any opportunity, there's no such thing as luck. You ready to go? So let's get it.
Remix Morning Show.
So yeah, I always say, people say, yo, you lucky. It's almost feel like it's a little bit of hate. You know what I mean? Am I wrong for that? It almost feel like, yo, you lucky that you got. Nah, maybe, I was walking the right path and this is where I'm supposed to be right now in my life. So that's how I feel for certain opportunities. And at the same time, being prepared for an opportunity when it comes, you in the building. So I want to go to this interview I had with super producer Rick Rock. As you can see, when he was put in a situation where, listen, I had to be ready. He was ready. So let's go to it right here. Bam.
Who would you say was one of your funnest people to work with, or you collab so great with? I'm gonna say E40, because I mean y'all got so much.
Because we about like 80 songs in or whatever. Like it's kind of stupid at this point, but so those is fun and shit. But outside of that, I'll say maybe Jay-Z. Just because it was Jay-Z.
Right.
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Yeah.
It was surreal. He was intelligent. The whole atmosphere, all that, because we were at Baseline Studios. You know what I'm saying? And I came out there to do the song for Jay-Z. I had a song already on the reel that he wanted. When I got there, he didn't want it no more and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this, he was like, nah.
Like that's just.
I played a couple beats. He wasn't fucking with it.
Yeah.
So I had to just get on and get out right there or lose my opportunity. So those things made it like a trip. And then when I came with something, he just was.
You get that thing. That's what he be doing.
Then he went in and he recorded it. I'm on the, he was recording with me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, could you change that a little? And he's like, who does that? He said, I'm gonna change it.
Yeah.
I remember him saying,
who tells Jay-Z?
Yeah, basically, like, you gonna tell me? I will listen to you. It's cute. It's cute. I like what.
So there you go with that right there. That's being in the moment, being in the place to be like, all right, well, that beat ain't work. Bam, bam, bam. Let me make another one on the spot. So always be prepared because you never know what opportunity you could get and what comes out of it. And that is my thoughts. The Ear Doctor. Now let's take it back to the morning show. You know how we do. All right. And yeah, you can check that one out. Go to under the playlist and check out the doctor's office, and you can check out that interview. It was pretty dope.
Okay. Appreciate that, Ear Doctor, coming with the interviews on the doctor's office. Definitely check out the doctor's office.
Great.
Yes, indeed. So, it's about that time. It's Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Kim, it look like it's just you and I. We might have to do what we do.
Okay, what we gonna be? Kid and play kick step. What you want to do?
First, before we do that, we got to bring my main man in. You know what I'm saying? He gonna rock about the original Balagoon. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come through and hit us with that warrior class. You know what I mean? Technique of the week and all that good stuff. And
need that Balagoon. The streets is getting realer out here, sir.
It's getting realer like Magilla out here. You know what I'm saying? Real gorilla. So we're gonna definitely we're gonna be back with you in a second. Kim and I, we're gonna step off and bring my main man Balagoon and warrior class up here. All right, here we go. Remix Morning Show. You know what we do around here.
Yes. Hopefully.
Yeah, we got it. I got faith.
Peace. This is the technique of the week. I am Balogun Ojetade. And today we're going to be dealing with an attack if a person has the mount on you on the ground. The mount meaning their knees are straddled across yours. Now, a lot of people get intimidated when you talk about the ground, mostly because we've been there. Okay. 99% of fights end up on the ground. Now, 100% are standing. Well, I won't even say 100% because we just dealt with seated, right, attacks, right? But more will deal with standing, but they will still, most of the time, they'll end up going to the ground. We get intimidated by the very place that is most dangerous for us, the place that we will most likely be put. I had a student come to me, sister, years ago, and she had been sexually assaulted. She wanted to learn how to defend herself on the ground in those positions. So we had students, it was a private lesson, we had students working with her, different positions from the ground. And by the time I got down there, she just laid there and submitted. And it was very dangerous. I stopped the class at that point because there's no need to just continue to go, and she gets traumatized even further. But the conversation was, you have to visit this place where you're dealing with this trauma, because if you're put in that position in your home, on the street, or wherever it may be, and you just submit like that, you're done. Whatever it is they wanted from you, be that your body, your life, both, they have it. And you're too valuable to just do that. So it behooves you to train. The biggest part of training is here in the head. It's the mindset. And so we have to work on our mindset, and we cannot be within our comfort zone. If you come to learn to defend yourself and you want to be comfortable, you really don't want to learn to defend yourself. Okay. You want the confidence that I can defend myself, but the confidence really doesn't mean anything if you don't have the skill to back it. Revolutionary will without revolutionary skill will get the revolutionary killed. Okay? So go where you're not comfortable and learn to survive in that place. And then hopefully learn to thrive within that place. So we're about to go to the ground. A couple of things that when you go on the ground that you have to remember is bend your knees, and every encounter is a conversation. Talk to them and tell them to punch you. And I'm about to teach you. You say, what? Yeah, you rather they're trying to punch you than trying to choke you when you're on the ground, because it's a lot easier to escape a punch. And I'll show you why in just a second. Okay? So we're about to go to the ground. If you can get a partner with you when you look back at this and work this, it'll be great. My son. So also, I don't want to hear you talking about you can't do this. I just don't have the physical ability. One, I'm 53 years old. I'm not in the best shape of my life. I'm trying to get back there. But I can do it. But my 5-year-old son, he's 18, about to be 19 now, but when he was 5, he did this against a woman that weighed well over 300 pounds. And she's shocked, oh my God, right? But it's physics. The physics be physicking when you train. The physics be physicking. And we're about to get into that right now. So, first thing, when you're on your back, I can see better. You want your knees bent. If they're straight, you got a lot of problems here. Okay, you definitely would have to go to a tool, and I'll talk about that in just a second if I have the time. But bend your knees, hand to your face, like the old movie. What's that doggone movie? Home Alone. Oh, put your hand on your chin. That brings your elbows down. Chin is tucked. You don't want your head and shoulders flat on the ground, if possible. If you cannot do this, that's really your core that has to be worked. But if you can't do that, then you have to work from here. It's not the best place, but it's better than nothing. Work from here. But try to get your head off the ground. And this is a good exercise to do anyway. You may be watching television at home and you just sit like this, and that works your core. Keep your head off the mat, okay? Keep these feet flat if you can. What you're going to do is use your hips to push up. And when he gets down here, I'll show you even more. You push up. You look to the side. So he's on me. I push up, throw him off balance. I grab one of his arms. I lock one of his ankles. I come back down, push up again. Then I look to the side where I'm going, up, over my shoulder. And then I roll. When you roll, do not just roll like this. We see a lot of students do that, whoo, and the person's laying there, but you're not in between their legs. And that means they can roll back, right back on top of you. So when you roll, get between their legs. You're about to see it now. You say, how can this be? It's a very simple technique. Keep in your mind, my little son did it. Any of you can do this unless you cannot bend your knees. And if you cannot bend your knees, that's a whole another segment. We will have to deal with that to teach you how to do this. But this is much easier if you can bend your knees. Straight legs for us is considered close to death in this situation. Bend those knees. He comes in with the mount. You're going to see him mount a certain way. Okay, so that's how you should mount. We won't deal with that right now. Now, if he gets under my arms, it's come under. No, with your knees. He's under my arms. If I let him get too high, I cannot use my hips now. So back up. This is why You put your hands here, one of the reasons, so he cannot come up under my arms. He cannot go too high. The other reason, he cannot choke me. So my hands here, try to choke. He can't choke. He's on my hands. Try to wrap your hand around my neck and choke. Can't choke no around like that. He can't choke.
No, I can't do it.
I'm blocking him. If he cannot choke me, he's going to try to punch me. Check and make sure we're not.
We good. We need to slow it down.
No, that we're not muted.
We good.
Okay. So now he can't choke me. He's going to try to punch me. When he tries to punch, you don't try to punch him. If he wants to punch me, just touch here. He's got me right here. I got longer arms than him. He can stay right here. I can't reach his face. He can reach my face. And gravity's bringing his energy down. He has a much stronger punch. Even if I could reach him. If I hit him here, that's not doing much. It's really not. But if he does it to me, oh boy, that's devastating. So I cannot allow the punches. My hips disallow those punches. When he tries to punch me, I push my hips up. You know why he stopped punching and tried to put his hand down on the ground? Because if he doesn't, he gets face planted. His head will hit this mat. A human being will always do more to escape pain than to gain pleasure. A human being will always do more to escape pain than to gain pleasure. His pleasure is hitting me in the face, but he'll do more to escape pain than to hit me in my face. I just got to know what I'm doing to make him in fear of pain. So he goes to punch, I throw. Go again, he goes to punch. Now don't let it get almost to your nose, it's going to scrape your head. He goes to punch, punch. If just that one hand is down, that's the hand you take. If both hands are down, you decide which way you're going to roll. I pin, so I reach up. His hand is down, I reach up. I pin his elbow to my body with my hands. I can either X my hands or I can clap them. I can hold my wrist, however you do it. Get him pinned there. And on the same side that I have his arm, I get his foot. So he can't push his foot out to stop himself from rolling. He can't hold his hands out to stop himself from rolling. Now I push my hips up again. And I look that way and I roll that way. And I'm on top now. Okay? I'll do it one more time. It's pure physics. Nothing to do with strength. He goes, I go. I reach, I take, put my foot on that side, throw my hips up, look over, turn them over. Now to get out, I can put my hands right at his belly. Don't put them up high. He can work your arms and everything. Put them at his belly, and I push myself up and out. Okay? Now, let me get back down here. Well, let me show this. You have a knife. And you say, well, I like my knife high up here. This is not where you want your knife. You want your knife in your low pocket. Low pocket, not high pocket. You want it down here, closer to your hip, not closer to your groin. The reason why, if it's up here and he mounts. Let me pull the shirt so they can see. You can see the knife clip here, okay? Go ahead. I can't get to it. His leg's in the way. Uh-oh. Come up. But if I put it in my low pocket, he's here. I can reach it right here. It's right here. I'm at my low pocket. Here's the knife. Right here. I just took it out of my pocket. Of course, I would open it and go to work. He's right there. Now, at this point, this hand would block. I would open that up, and then open him up. Okay? It's real simple, like that. Somebody said, what if the assailant has a knife? That's why, once again, if the assailant takes you down and they have a knife, the knife, the fist, they all move off the similar physics, off the same physics, really. I throw my hips up, that person wants to stab me, the person will do more to escape pain than to gain pleasure. Believe that and try it yourself. And so he will plant his hands, and then, of course, you control that arm. You don't worry about the other arm. You control that arm, and then you take him to the side that has the knife in it. It doesn't change. Physics doesn't change, and your mind doesn't change because you put this in it, because this is just a tool. Who's the weapon? You are. So we're dealing with the mind of the weapon. This is simply the tool. So the physics are going to be the same. The mind is the same. The tool, the best the tool can do if you're not trained is give you confidence. The best the tool can do if you are trained is to know I don't want to go to the ground, and I don't have to because I can open them up on my feet. If he takes you to the ground, you can survive. But once again, if you don't know a thing, it doesn't exist. This is why we're giving it to you, so you do know.
Oh, do we have
and you got to practice.
Yeah, can we address this question right here? So this brother says, even though that technique may work, however, real world situations aren't scripted. Someone with significant greater strength than you, they could just move your hands from your face and choke you.
Wrong.
we put that to the
because anything we're talking about, we pressure tested. Let me make something clear to you. This ain't Mr. Miyagi karate. This ain't stuff you've seen on TV. This is stuff, and I'm a person, I believe in applied science, not theoretical science. So I'm not talking to you about some things that I myself have not done. And you say, well, you're a big guy. When I had to use this to survive, I was only 115 pounds. When I was in my 20s, I was 129 pounds. At my biggest, 135 pounds when I moved here. And I just, when I turned in my 40s, started gaining weight. And I always dealt with people significantly larger than me when I had to defend myself. And if he's trying to strip your hands from your face, that's why you use your hips to throw him, and he will put his hands down. Right. Him using his hands to strip, this is still an attack. You don't just lay there and say, oh, he's trying to strip my hand. Right. You best move then.
So as he lunge for that, to move your hand.
If he gets up, he mounts and gets up. Don't just lay there. So we're not dealing with these things within. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, every day would be Christmas. So we don't deal with if scenarios like that. I already deal with, okay, this works for this kind of person, but however, what if this person has an injured arm? We throw that into our training because this is a real thing where you don't have to ask what ifs in the middle of defending yourself. So we've already eliminated all of that. And I can't really say we, Africans already eliminated because they've been doing this stuff for eons.
We've tried and tested it on our mat.
And we pressure test everything. And people ask me stuff, what if they bite you while you're on the ground and all that? Well, let's test that. Okay. And that's not, I'm not tripping on it. I'm just letting you know everybody will have what ifs. You will have what ifs training. And most of your what ifs will be answered. Thank you. That's this week's technique of the week. Once again, it's dealing with your mind first. Get in a warrior mindset and don't defeat yourself talking about what you can't do, what won't work. this will happen and all of that. If you want to talk about what realism is getting down there and training and learning what's real for yourself. Thank you. Love you. Stay black.
You bet.
Yes. Technique of the week. Thank you so much, Brother Balagoon. What's going on? Oh,
Yes,
where y'all go? Y'all still there?
We tried to exit. I don't know what happened.
We appreciate you not ending the broadcast, though.
Yeah, we brought you back on, man. Wanted to first off, thank you for addressing the what ifs, because of the fact that it's just from being in class, I can say here at the RemiX Morning Show, it's a lot easier and it's a lot safer to be in the chat or on the tube than it is to be on the mat. The chat and the mat's a little bit different, but so definitely we appreciate you all coming on and sharing with the RemiX Morning Show. Wanted to bring you on here because I'm sure Kim has some questions because of the fact that she got a new hairdo, and I think she want to know what if she had to fight with a new hairdo. What would have to happen in that particular case?
Oh, I'm up on Corey J. Blige.
Okay, you know about it.
No, so Brother Balagoon, actually, this whole scenario that you just went over is something that I had experienced personally in my younger days, where there was this woman who was trying to fight me over this man that was cheating on both of us, and she was way bigger than me, and she got me on the ground, and the whole time I'm thinking, I can't believe she got me fighting over this dumbass nigga. But anyway. But I wish I'd had known those techniques that you had taught, because I did take an L that day. I'm not going to even lie.
Yeah, I fought this dude on behalf of this sister who, her ex-boyfriend, he gave her a jacket. She started dating one of my closest friends. He wanted his jacket back. And she wasn't trying to give him the jacket back. So instead of him just coming by himself, he comes with 3 other dudes. And I go over and I'm trying to negotiate. And this dude said, man, pop the trunk. I said, oh, they're going to try to pull a pistol on me? Now, at that time, I was 18, so I wasn't carrying a pistol all the time. So I said, well, I'm not going to just let him pop the trunk on me. So I grabbed, pull him away from the trunk. And I'm going to say his name's Bimp. Now, if you change yourself, Bimp, cool. But, you got your ass whooped that day, Bimp. So Bimp decides to go at it with me. I'm whooping Bimp's behind. And I tell y'all, he drops to his knees. And I have been drinking beforehand. So as alcohol says, suplex him. Like this, the throat.
Yes.
Because, and I was, like I said, I was only like 115 pounds, 120 pounds at the time at 6'1". So I was skinny as hell. He was about 240. I pick him up, step in right, the way my daddy taught me. I bring him up, and he falls on top of me. I said, oh, Lord.
No.
And he then goes to hit. Throw my head in. Boom. Hits his hand breaks. His knuckles break, right? His fingers, whatever. He throws the other hand, same thing. Ow! But he's still on top of me. And his boys are, boom, giving me the boots in the head. I up and over escape what I just showed you all. Rolling. Throw elbows. Boom, boom, boom. While they're beating me. He's out. I get up. I'm dizzy as hell. But they're scared now because they had never seen somebody be able to get somebody much bigger like that off of them. And that saved my life. But now they took off. Them goes to the hospital. I go home looking like Frankenstein. But at least I was alive, right? So these techniques will save your life, but the most important part of martial arts, period, or self-defense, survival, is avoidance. Because that's the highest level and most important. Had I not gone over there in the first place, say, get that man his jacket back, or you go in the house, into my boy's house, it wouldn't even been that problem. But I'm going over there trying to be the negotiator. So I didn't avoid a problem when I'm seeing is 4 people out there.
I just want to say real quick, and this is one of his sayings that I always bring close to me, is if you don't know something, it doesn't exist. And you see a lot of people, especially growing up, they got beat up like that, people on top of them and just start hammering on them. Some people got their life taken like that because you feel helpless. My big brother used to do me like that. Get on top of me and he slapped me. I can't do nothing. I can't move. You feel that's a helpless, vulnerable situation if you don't know. So like that guy, the person that commented, we wasn't trying to get on him, but he may not know because he never did that. That skill can transcend strength in most cases. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing something, knowing that is the big difference.
I want to make a comment too. Question, if you don't mind. I got brother in the chat asked a question, or he made a statement about him liking to see this pressure tested against other self-defense, not against other self-defense instructors, but actual fighters. I want to point out that what's being done here is not a self-defense class. You know what I'm saying? This isn't martial arts. This is combat. So it's a difference between going for belts and MMA and these different rules and different forms of karate and sport and all that type of stuff. Can you speak to that a little bit, because of the fact that I really want folks, and this is not to attack anyone that's asking questions, because of the fact that there's always legitimate questions, but the reality is folks need to know the difference between what's going on here. This is not a self-defense segment. So let's be clear about that first.
So number one, when somebody asks about a fighter, teacher of mine years ago, a spiritual teacher, said, you know the level of a person within whatever it is you do based on the questions that they're asked. Okay. A fight. What is a fight? A fight is we've agreed to battle either out there, because that's not how really street shit go, or we've agreed to fight in the ring. There's an agreement between 2 combatants that they are going to fight at this specific time in this specific place. Most of us, when we're walking out there, it's not a fight. Somebody just grabs you and starts shanking you. Right. That's not a fight.
Knock you upside the head.
People talk about, what about knife fighting? That's, he got a knife, I got a knife, and we say, ha ha, do. Come on, man. That's a fight. And that don't happen.
No.
If you tell me that happened, I'm telling you, you either are lying or you were watching a movie. Or you ain't not from where I grew up, for sure, and you ain't from the hood. You may be from those tree-lined streets. And I don't even think where Jerry lives, somebody just would say, hey, we're going to knife fight, buddy.
No.
So that's a fight. That's a fight. Martial arts, I teach martial arts. I'm not teaching that here. That is, I know he's coming in for a time. He's been with me for years. I didn't know, but I take it, any student that comes in, I say, I'm going to train them so there are certain things mentally and physically and spiritually that I have to teach him over time to make sure that is down, is where it needs to be. That's time, and that can take years to get them where they need to be, right? Or where they want to be. When you are protecting the community or your family or what have you, somebody comes in and says, well, I just want to learn how to protect my family. Well, now they need to learn how to protect their family in that type of teaching modality. And that's different from martial arts. So now, first of all, if I don't trust them, they're only getting so much. Okay? Some of y'all here I trust, some of y'all I don't know. So I give you things that you definitely can defend yourself with, protect yourself and your loved ones. But you're not going to see me teaching you how to shoot on here. And I just don't have a space. I'm going to shoot in this house. So certain things I'm not going to show you here. Now, as we get to know each other, we can hook up and I can show you that elsewhere. Part of learning to protect yourself is learning how to move through this house in case there's an intruder. Knowing where to go, where not to go. Okay? Knowing how to set up a safe room. All those things are part of your protection because it's like Kalonji said, it's combat and it's survival. This ain't got nothing to do. You're not going to learn how to move through your house with a shotgun in a martial arts class. Okay, so martial arts is one level. When I came here, I told Kalonji, I want to give people techniques where they can survive in an urban environment, rural environment, whatever it is, but it's survival, and it's survival rooted in combat. My history isn't just in the martial art class. Okay. If you say you like me to pressure test it against fighters, once again, that means, I guess, MMA fighters. That's happened before too. I'm open to that, even at 53. At 53 years old, first of all, you want a 53-year-old man to fight a 25-year-old MMA champion. Well, you got to examine yourself anyway, because I don't know what that is. But they can come in. But you know, the first thing that would happen, number one, you say, well, pressure test this technique. We can do that. But we don't really do that in our class. This ain't ancient China. I'm an African. If somebody comes in my class, and they have come from California and all that to try to challenge me, and they've left, most of the time scared. But you come into my place saying, I'm going to do this. We're going to see where this goes. I'm going to stick a knife in you.
I'm sorry.
He knows me because I don't know you. I'm not talking about the person in the thing. I'm just letting you know my mindset, his mindset, my student's mindset. This is not karate. It's life and death, and my life depends on living so I can continue to live with my family, teach my family. So nobody is going to just be welcome to just come in and get down with me. They can. They can.
These techniques have been pressure tested to the utmost, to the highest levels, not by fighters, but by combatants. People trying to save their own lives. That's what these techniques have done.
So that's all I'm gonna say on that, because for me, that's a sensitive subject, because people can get real. What about this? And I bet he won't do. And I bet he won't do. And the person talking about that won't do shit.
I believe that.
You know, that's all on that anyway.
Before I get all of us indicted,
right.
Check out Warrior Class this Saturday at 1 p.m.
So live October the 2nd, live Warrior Class coming up.
Oh,
live
on that
Warrior
too,
Class.
As far as indictment goes, right?
Yes.
If somebody comes in the class and tries to get with me, I'm gonna stick a knife in them. I'm defending myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm protecting myself. I'm an old, weak man, and I must protect myself. I've had a stroke. I've had stroke and heart attack, and so you come in, I have to defend myself, and I don't have the energy to fight you with my hands. I got to stick you.
Yes.
Come to me first. I love
There's
it.
a whole lot of us old
and all of you all, somebody's always stronger than you. Carry a tool.
That's right.
Carry a tool.
Big
Right.
time.
Hey,
I agree with that.
I'm glad you said that part, because I was speaking to the ear doctor earlier today, and I told him, I said, you know, folks always look at martial artists or anyone that's into any type of fighting situation and assume that these are the only tools that come with that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, our people are from the same streets that you live on. We came up in the same environment. This is urban, so we're not suckers here. Don't get it twisted. Right. You know what I'm saying? We just showing you a different way. We clear that anytime, even with myself just being a freedom fighter, just speaking on the microphone, cats want to come try to test it because of the fact that they feel like, you know, I want to, like they said, they want to battle test. Is he really about what he say about? Hey man, do what you must do, and we do what we must do, and that's just how
Now,
it goes.
let me end this. This is real important. Dealing with the Real says, how do you avoid him pulling the same trick once you get on top? Love it. So, remember, come in here. No. Yeah. So they can see.
Real quick.
Amount is this. This is amount. Whoop. I should have gotten on that the right way. I'm just trying to do it quick. This is amount. When he rolls me over, come in. If he rolled me over, he'd be between my legs.
Right.
That's different. His legs aren't straddling mine. This is different. This is called the guard.
No.
This is not a mount. So he cannot do the same thing. He can do things to you. That's why you got to get up. Because from this position, he can do things to you. Really, this is the mount inverted. If you flip this over, I'll be in a mount, right? So he can do things, but he cannot do that same technique. I don't have, my hips are here. His hips are under mine, they're not over mine. I don't know if you can see me from there, but
you can see.
Yeah, so his hips are under mine. In the mount, you see, I'm trying to lift nothing. Come up, mount. Now his hips are over mine. Now I can do that technique. That's why you can't pull that same trick.
Right on. So live, October 2nd. If you're in the Atlanta area, you can come on down. And if you're not, you can check it out live on BPM. And
there's many instructors there that can work with you if you have certain questions. They can tweak what you're working with and all of that. Have a comrade with you so y'all can put in some work. And I said before, I won't tell you why. Bring a claw hammer with you. You'll be happy that you did.
Love this.
Indeed. That's what's up. Hey, Balagoon, Belay, I'll talk to y'all in a few minutes. Be safe.
All right.
Thank you guys. Thank y'all.
No doubt. Appreciate y'all. Ha, Kim, look at what you started.
Hey man, you can't get enough of that. Like everything there is stuff that could be implemented into your daily activities. I wish I had gotten these lessons 10, 15 years ago.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
My record probably be a little better out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? But
Indeed. Nah, and I appreciate it just with myself, just from training different styles throughout my life. One of the things that we usually taught is to avoid getting on the ground. Mm-hmm. Now I feel more comfortable on the ground than even, standing up, because of the fact that it's like most other people, they feel that if you hit the ground, then you lose the fight, but that's not true. You know what I'm saying? You just have to, get comfortable with where you are uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely shout out to Balagoon and Belay and the African Martial Arts Institute and Urban Survival Preparedness Institute, FTP movement, whole thing. This is revolution. We're gonna go to. Yeah.
Let me say something real quick. I mean, that's wise words that Balagoon gave us in terms of avoidance, right? You want to try to avoid a physical confrontation as much as possible, but sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, in days, avoidance doesn't work. You can try to walk away, and the fight is still going to come to you anyway. I have a friend of mine who has a family member who's like 13 years old, but he's a big kid. He's like 6 foot already, 13. Yeah. But he's autistic. He's on the spectrum, and he's very soft spoken. He's very gentle. And I'm like, yo, like y'all need to teach him how to fight. They're like, but no, that's not his nature. I'm like, that doesn't even matter, because he's a big kid. People are gonna come up here and try to test him just because of his size. And you can't have him out here being a big softie. So he at least at minimum needs to know how to defend himself, even though he's not going looking for a fight. Fight might come looking for him. So you got to prepare yourself, your family, your children, your parents out here to know how to defend themselves in case of a confrontation. And Balagoon's lessons are very, very instrumental in doing that.
Without a doubt, that's one of the most beautiful things about this thing, man. You never know when it's going to come to you. So definitely shout out to Balagoon, the brothers, and also the sisters, because I know that over the African Martial Arts Institute, we have a lot of sister instructors, and most of them are smaller than you, Kim. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like tiny, and they will set it off on your ass so quick because of the fact I'm talking about men, and of course size matters and all of that. But technique is, these tools that we talk about are smaller than a lot of these folks that that would challenge. But anyway, we're gonna take it to the ear doctor real quick, loosen it up, bring it back, and tighten up. Remix Morning Show. You know what we do.
Let's go.
What? Yeah, real quick. I remember two big fights that I was involved in, which involved defending two sisters. Actually, we was throwing some parties back in college, and they spit on one of the sisters because they wouldn't give her no play. So we actually just dragged the dude.
Thank you.
Actually, the same thing happened at another party. Another dude was acting wild and disrespected the sister that was just trying to get emails and stuff, and said, "Bitch, get out of my face." He got dragged too.
Thank you.
Oh,
no
doubt.
So
yeah, we've been out here doing it, defending our sisters out here. So we got to make sure we continue to do that. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and give an artist spotlight real quick, and let's do it.
I'm also saying don't go to ear doctor parties because boy, either you get drugged,
dragged out here.
You get dragged if you disrespect the sisters. That's what it is.
Remix.
Yeah. So big up to everybody out there. I wanted to give a quick artist spotlight to a brother. We always spotlight MCs or singers, but we don't really get to spotlight live bands and performers that actually perform in these live bands. And this brother, I've been on the stage. We rock many stages. And he goes by the name of Dashiell Smith, and he got a song that goes by the name of Put the Thing on It. So let's check it out real quick. Dashiell Smith. Why is that not working? There we go. Bam. Let's get it.
Put the thing on it. Got to put the thing on it. If you want to be about that bullish, I ain't invested. But if you want to move, then I'm probably interested in everything the news feature. Can you digest it? Or do you want to open book multiple choice? Or do you want to test it? Don't get your temper mind on fire from the satire. No. Some like to drive the nail in their own flat tire. Others like to hit the bad notes in the black choir. And many like to smell the smoke from their own backfire. Don't you know that's time? Don't you know that's time? Don't you know that's time? Yeah. Don't you know that's time? Yeah. Put the thing on it. Come on. And check it out. I got tragic news, hate to break it to you, man. It involves your Percocet and your Molly, man. It involves a couple grand and some contraband. Had them execute each other in a rented van. It was a gory scene out the mind of Tarantino collab with Scorsese for a sequel of Casino. It's probably for the best so you can stay up and learn. Pay your attention, you can get this verbal work. Clown ass is something we all seen before. You're underwhelming like a mediocre meteor. My brain's a combination of a peace treaty war or peace greeting Thor or chicken grease eating more. You thought it was an easy chore like a sleazy hoe. Shocked at my nature like you never seen a tree before. You've aged a ton, I've got a razor tongue. My phase one is already Mao Zedong. I took off like Herbie Hancock's maiden voyage. Y'all stayed in storage and you got major spoilage. I accosted your audience and subordinates, still staying in accordance with the city ordinance. I'm a golden age baby to the core with this. Got Morpheus saying he can't take any more of this. I go from being in shape to amorphous. I'm sonically akin to Orpheus, killing your top 40 list. My vocals simulate the endorphins of caterpillar orphans to trigger the metamorphosis of butterfly. Now he up in Shabazz places. Detectives greeting your close kid with sad faces. Talking about you died tragically, but magically they found a mic with a stand in your rectal cavity. That's kind of gross and graphic and repulsive. This shit I drafted is electroconvulsive.
All right. He was killing them. Stop killing them, son. Big up to my man Dash right there, holding it down. You can see, you can go to @Dash Dashiell Smith. He ripped it down, like I said. Good brother, plays the horn, can sing, can rhyme, does all that. So check him out. That's what it is. Let's get back to the morning crew. You know how we do. Yeah, I gotta get a little quicker than that, man. One of the biggest shows I remember opening for Lucky Dubé. He's a African reggae artist.
Rest in power, Lucky Dubé.
Yeah. That was a great show right there. And make sure also while I'm on here, I want to make sure y'all tune in this Sunday for Sundays, 8 p.m. We're gonna rock out. I don't know what we're gonna do, but you know how we do. We just make it happen.
Hey, listen, man. Shout out to Dashiell. You know what I'm saying? Dash is a beast. You know what I'm saying? You know, him and Masiki, you know, they are, when you talk about culture here in Atlanta, for folks who live in the Atlanta area, anytime there's a second line, anytime there's any type of funeral, any type of celebration, any type of commemoration, you know what I mean? It damn near ain't authentic if you don't see Masiki and Dash in the building. You know what I mean? So shout out to those brothers for you know, one thing I love about those brothers is it's not just about the music, it's serious culture behind it. You know what I mean? It's revolution. And I want to say to the remixers out here real quick, man, you know, a lot of us that you see on this particular platform, you know, we are freedom fighters, for lack of better words, and this platform is used to express what it is that's going on, and we try to make it as fly as possible and as fun as possible and as cool as possible and all that. But don't get it twisted. This is, you know, this is a battle-tested program. You know what I mean? So definitely, we gotta get Dash on the show one of these days as well.
No doubt. Also, did y'all know that this happened last night in New York?
Nah.
Fuji's reunion. They about to go on tour, actually.
Oh man.
Yeah. First time I actually got to see Fuji's was back when at Morehouse College and Maxwell opened up for him.
Woo!
Yeah, Maxwell. This is the first time you ever seen Maxwell. Ain't nobody know nothing about it. This dude came out on stage with a leather suit, like looking like Eddie Murphy and Raw, and had a big cross on the stage. We was like, what the? But when he started singing, we was like, all right. And then Fuji's came out and rocked it. It was a dope show.
Yeah, I got some Fuji stories, but I don't know how to feel about this reunion because I don't like Wyclef. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a piece of shit politically. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother story.
I'm about to say, man, are we talking about the music or are we talking?
Politics matter.
That's like the Big Pun and Biggie. We can talk about how bad they was.
This ain't like the Big Pun and Biggie because of the fact that we're talking about Haiti and we're talking about him taking advantage of Haitian people with his Yele situation and also trying to run for president. And that's why his ass ended up getting popped down there in Haiti. But that's a whole nother story. And his relationship to some of the Haitian politicians down there. So that's a whole nother story, whole nother segment and all that. You know, besides his whack ass guitar playing, I'm talking about
whatever, man. Kim, you ever see Fuji before?
I'm really trying to think. Like, I know I've seen Lauren before. Like, I think I saw her like at Smoking Grooves, O2, out in Camden somewhere.
Talking about Smoking Grooves. Woo.
Yeah, Smoking
Took
Grooves.
it back.
But I don't think I've ever seen the Fugees perform. But the Fugees are very much part of my hip hop, you know, memory. Like, I can remember where I was the first time I ever heard I'm Mona Lisa. Can I get a date on Friday? And if you're busy, I wouldn't mind taking Saturday.
Oh yeah.
And them joints used to thump. You know what I'm saying? The Fugees used to rock joints. Like how many mics do we rip on the daily? Many mornings. It means many.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'm into the Fugees now because if Lauryn Hill out here playing with people's money and they time, like she has been.
She's saving souls.
Huh?
Hey,
saving souls.
I gotta.
You gotta go to work in the morning, man, doctor.
Hey, listen, I gotta give some and I don't think I said this publicly, man, but I remember the last time she was in Atlanta, folks were complaining that she was late for an hour or so. I don't know, hour, 2 hours, whatever. But what I happened to know, something that she did that I thought was great, was that she went to this black school, this school program that they had going on, and she met every child there, took pictures with them, inspired a lot of sisters, so on and so forth. So I understand, what I'm saying, she was late doing the show and all that, but she stayed to the very end. You had these little girls crying. My niece went to that particular school, and I knew some of the teachers or whatever, and they was just amazed because of the fact that what happened is a friend of hers said that they couldn't get tickets to go. So she went there to meet them for this particular program. So I'm just thinking about how big that would have been if during our particular era, if a Nina Simone or someone would have popped up at our school and just took pictures with us and showed us love. But I understand, folks paid their tickets and everything to go see a rock. But shout out to Lauren for that.
I mean, we just did a different era. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be out till 2:00 in the morning waiting on some goddamn Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying? niggas gotta go to work in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like
I rock with that.
Lauren needs to be respectful of her audience and where her audience is at our particular points in our lives. We can't be waiting on you all night on a Wednesday night, Lauryn Hill, for you to get on stage at 11:15. God damn it, no.
Hey Kim, you don't never want to go to a reggae concert then? Because listen,
that's different.
I went to Buju. See Buju, I'm talking about my feet was crying, bleeding damn near, waiting, standing around.
The dance hall don't pop till 2 a.m. Everybody knows that. Okay, everybody knows that. But the Fugees ain't the dance hall.
You have facts. Hey, big up to the hardest MC Prize in the whole group.
Oh shit.
I was gonna call you Prize one day, but I felt that like that was a diss. But now since you said it.
Yo,
anyway.
The funny thing is they better just perform the Fuji songs. They can't, like Lauren can't do Lost One with Wyclef on the stage.
How could she not do Lost Ones though? Lost Ones is one of the best diss records ever. Honey, how money changed your situation.
Exactly. Hey, y'all cannot act like that song didn't blah. You can listen to that shit like 20 times in a row and it'll pump you up. You thought you was Lauren for a minute.
No
you know
doubt.
what I'm saying?
Someone play Young Lauren like she dumb. Like,
but yeah, big up to them, man.
Yeah, I would definitely. The tickets though, the prices I seen that's in Atlanta. Oh my goodness, you got.
Now I did hear that they're going to play in DC at the Capital One Arena. I'm like, the Fugees are playing arenas. Like,
yeah.
what's going on?
Even the nosebleeds was like $100.
Really?
I was like, I don't like my nose to bleed, so I don't know about all that.
I think the Fugees gonna have their feelings hurt, yo. I don't think they're gonna be selling out arenas.
Wow.
Listen, I'm gonna see if we can give away some tickets, man, on BPM, man. We're gonna figure out what we can do. You know what I'm saying? Just for depending on how the people act, whatever. We're gonna see if we can get some tickets to give out somewhere on this tour situation. How about that?
Let's do it.
I think we should. What y'all think, Remixes? Y'all down for some tickets? I tell y'all what, y'all want those tickets? Support the Patreon and help fund some of them damn tickets. How about that? Sound good?
People really want to go see the Fugees, though. This is my question.
Like, you are bugging, Kim. I can't believe you saying that.
Seriously?
Yo, Kim.
All right.
Kim.
We'll see.
Look, you got Raekwon.
Like.
I'm looking at you. You got Raekwon and Most Def on the joint, and you talking about the people want to see the Fugees?
I'm absolutely talking about
this is definitely an age difference right here. This is where that era shows right there.
No, because Miseducation came out right when I was in college, and all the Fuji shit came out when I was in high school. So I'm right there. But again,
you don't understand.
I'm just saying, like,
come on, man. Do they want to see the Fugees?
We'll
I remember making bootleg Fuji T-shirts and selling them when they came.
I'll make sure we point that out whenever we run into them. I want one of them. That's gonna go down.
I think we even spelled Fuji's wrong, but we still sold out.
I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, everyone's
wait.
I'm wilding. Okay, we'll see what these ticket sales look like. Y'all talk about I'm wilding. Fuji's charging $100 for nosebleed. Who is paying $250 plus to go see the Fuji? Show me.
VIP is $600.
Show yourself.
I'm still caught on the ear doctor talking about some. I think we spelled Fuji's wrong on the T-shirt, but we still sold out. On that note, this is the Remix Morning Show. Y'all tune in tomorrow. No, not even tomorrow. I'm confused now. Wait, what's today?
Today is our Friday.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, tune in tomorrow. Check out I Mix What I Like at what time in the morning?
8
a.m.
8 a.m. to 10 a.m. or to whenever Jared finished wilding out, because he can look in the chat tomorrow, because he ain't gonna, it ain't the remix. So definitely join Dr. Jared Ball tomorrow and his crew. Kaba will be out of town. I'm supposed to be filling in for him, but I'm gonna see what that paper look like. Nah, I mean, see if I can get some Lucky Charm cereal, since Cass is lucky around here.
And what you got going on?
Tomorrow's burning down with Kim Brown. Wait, tomorr's Friday, right?
It is.
Okay.
You gotta get it right.
Then she wiped her lips. Yo, Kim, what you was doing for you?
Nothing. So anyway, as y'all see, I have on. Anyway, I'm not accustomed to seeing myself with this straight hair, so I keep looking at myself very.
You're like, who is that?
I'm like, what the fuck? So normally when I'm doing the Remix Morning Show, I don't wear any makeup. I might fill in my eyebrows a little bit, but I don't put on like makeup. But now I'm like, God damn, maybe I should have put on some makeup today, because
you look good, Cam. You look good. You don't need no makeup.
I feel like I'm being washed out. Like everything, like this is too much. You know what I'm saying? Everything is too close to the color palette, and I feel like I'm just being washed out right now. So anyway, and
Kim,
I'm mad at y'all.
We can see you, Kim.
People in the chat talking shit, talk about Kim. You need to stop talking shit about the Fugees, nigga. Okay, niggas, we gonna see. That's all I'm gonna say. We gonna see how well these Fugees shows sell. That's all I'm gonna say.
Jeff Wilson said that ear doctors out there selling fig tree shirts. Hey yo, man. So we got Kim burning down Kim Brown. What time tomorrow?
5 p.m. Eastern, everybody. Go on over to the channel, give us a subscribe, burn it down with Kim Brown. We appreciate the Fire Fam that overlaps here with the remixers. We have a lot of shared folks that support all the platforms, all the content that we bring in here for y'all. So thank you all so much for supporting everyone.
No doubt.
Warrior
Class 1 p.m. on Saturday. Then we're gonna have a movie night 8 p.m. And then Sunday, we got Sundays at 8 p.m. Listen, we got a great weekend for y'all. So that's what it is.
And I just want to say before we close out, we're looking for more programs. So any folks who are interested, definitely go to blackpowermedia.org, and submit your submit a form and see if you would be eligible to come on BPM, Black Power Media. More content on the way starting October. Matter of fact, we got a new show launching on this Monday.
Hey.
Yeah, so we'll make that announcement over this weekend. So tune in. Okay. Anyway, Remix Morning Show, Black Power Media. We out of here. Y'all be safe.
Like, subscribe, hit that button.
Yeah.
See y'all.
Chicka chicka.